The problem in education today is that it's abandoned the ground of education. Students today are taught that the truth is according to the perspective of one, that things in history are not fixed, that because we see them differently, they are different.
Most education today assumes that the student is the starting point.
There's a great deal of self-centeredness. There's a lack of civility, a lot of shouting, and a lack of real thoughtful interaction.
So that means the only thing wrong with education today is that it's lost its mission.
I've become convinced that one of the greatest ways that I can impact the future is by investing in classical education and helping to cultivate students into men and women who are able to live virtuous and wise lives.
The classical model is not dead.
At Hillsdale Academy, our motto is Virtus et Sapientia, which is Latin for virtue and wisdom. And that really is the backbone of what we do here, and it's really the backbone of what a classical education is all about.
In America today, I think we often think of education as training for a particular career or a particular course of life. A classical education is more well-rounded than that, and it remembers that no matter who you are, there's a moral education, a character education, a civic education.
And so what we're doing in the classical education tradition is we are drawing on the wisdom of the ages. We are exposing our students to the wisdom that has gone before. So we don't get to make up truth. Just as there are laws that govern the physical universe, there are also moral laws.
One of the challenges of education is forming virtue in its students. And this is something the Academy excels at.
Things like fortitude, perseverance, prudence. These good virtues are tested at school on a daily basis. I learned the importance of responsibility and being able to take care of the people around me.
From Plato's Academy onward, over the centuries, learning has happened in community. And what we have at Hillsdale Academy is a community of learners. Our students, our teachers, our staff, everyone working together to promote the cultivation of virtue and wisdom in our students.
Our daughter Helen, in a given semester, she's learning Shakespearean drama, competed in cross country, played violin in the orchestra. This was not a girl that was stressed out about filling up a resume with activities that she could burnish her resume with to get into the college she wanted to. She was just loving her friendships and all of these things. And I just see that and think, wow.
It has truly been a joy to watch our children learn to love to learn.
There hardly is a day that goes by that we are not looking at each other with a kind of giddiness of gratitude for having the Academy here.
For this tiny school that has had 303 graduates, for 21 years straight, we had at least one student in the National Merit Program. There was one year that in a class, I think of 19, we had 5 National Merit finalists.
I had 3 different teachers in high school who had their PhD, which I feel like is very rare.
This is not a place that teachers pass through. It's a destination. It's where they want to stay. It's where they want to build their career, put down their roots, and really invest long-term in Hillsdale Academy, in Hillsdale College, and in their students.
It's not an elite school. It's not a prep school. What it is a school that holds the bar high so that we can produce the best sorts of citizens that our country needs.
So it's not just about our little school in Hillsdale. Suddenly it's quite big. This is for the sake of our nation, for the sake of just government and self-governance, everything that our country was founded on.
As Hillsdale College's work in K-12 classical education continues to expand, the Academy will continue to play an incredibly important role in that mission. We want to continue growing as a school, becoming better at the education we provide, continuing to expand our facilities to meet the needs of our student enrollment growth so that we can better serve the mission of Hillsdale College and serve our country as a model of what classical education can and should be.
The Academy is an excellent thing, and it needs to be. And so for it to be an excellent thing, it needs to be funded to a sufficient level. Education for the young is for people who are not making a living yet. Somebody has to help them. And so that partnership between the people who support it and the people who carry on its activity, that's natural and necessary.
By supporting Hillsdale Academy, you are helping Hillsdale College teach K-12 schools across the country what a beautiful classical education looks like and how education in this country ought to be done.
We're not in this to make money. We are in this to serve the students who walk the halls of our buildings, to bless their families, but also to bless and contribute to our nation and the world.
We are very aware that the donors have supported that education for our family.
I was sponsored myself by a woman in Florida who decided that classical education was important. Because of Mrs. McCullum, I was able to go to high school.
Through coaching basketball, coaching soccer, and doing tutoring, I've still kept a connection to the school. And I think what keeps drawing me back is I've started to realize more and more what Hillsdale Academy has given to me and how much of an impact Hillsdale Academy has had on my life.
The reach that Hillsdale Academy has had across our nation and the educational impact is enormous.
It's got a mission to prepare citizens to be entrepreneurs and to raise families and to help with other organizations, because that's the backbone of a free society.
I can think of no better way to invest in the future than by investing in the classical education of our young men and women. What classical schools like Hillsdale Academy are doing is cultivating students so that they can live well and so that they can pass on what they have learned to future generations. A classical Christian education is an investment in eternity.